Welcome back to the Legal Alternative Podcast with me, Sam Pawson. Flying solo today. Nils unfortunately couldn't make it this week. Without Nils being here, I want to do a bit of an Employment Rights Act update. We've had a new timeline released by the government, and there's a fact sheet that the government have provided. What I wanted to take the opportunity to do in today's podcast was to go through the headline terms really of the timeline. We've discussed a number of these in previous podcasts, but there has been some changes in date. So I'm just going to go through it period by period, picking out the critical changes. The list is quite exhaustive, so I've not taken every single pieces, and in particular the trade union updates I've eliminated from this update. We have done a previous video on that and some material on the trade unions, which we'll push out separately. Really critically was to focus on the matters being introduced in the short term and where things have been pushed back to kind of let listeners know. So without further ado, I'm going to look at my phone a bit today because we've got a few dates to go through. So we've mentioned in previous videos the updates coming in the 6th of April. And there are some important ones, in particular being the changes to statutory sick pay, which we've gone through in terms of removal of the lower earnings limit and the day one rights for SSP. So they will all come into effect the 6th of April, along with the following other changes. So we will get day one paternity and unpaid parental leave rights, so no qualifying services on those. We've got a doubling of the collective redundancy protection award, and we've got some bereaved partners paternity leave also being introduced. So all of those, we have a date. They are the 6th of April, and they are the only changes where we do have a specific date of them coming into force. We have then some changes that will take in effect from October. Two important ones which we've discussed in previous episodes is in relation to sexual harassment. So the requirement for employers to take all reasonable steps to prevent sexual harassment and the protections against third-party harassment all are in the timeline going to take effect from October 26. Again, we don't have a specific date. And again, critically, we don't have any specific guidance on what we mean by all reasonable steps. So a lot to unpack there, but there's still a commitment for those to take impact in October. Final one in October is the changes in employment tribunal time limits. We've talked previously about the extension from 3 months to 6 month limitation periods. Again, no date, but that is planned to come in October 26. Where we've had a change and two really critical updates of them that has been pushed back. So the one that we knew was going to take effect in January 27 was the changing in unfair dismissal qualifying periods from 2 years to 6 months. That will come in on the 1st of January 2027, as will the removal of the statutory cap on unfair dismissal awards. So two very big impact pieces of legislation there. In terms of how that 6 months will work, we have had some further guidance that the 6 months will work obviously for anyone who has previously been in employment. If by the 1st of January they have been with them for 6 months, they will qualify for unfair dismissal. Anyone who joins on the 1st of January onwards will then obviously gain their unfair dismissal rights on the 6th month anniversary of them starting. So time previously counts in terms of that legislation. The matter we've had pushed back, again, no firm dates, but again, January likely 2027 is the changes to fire and rehire, which again we've talked about in previous episodes. So that has been pushed back. It was previously going to come a bit before. That's now been pushed back into 2027. Again, still waiting on some substantial guidance on that. We've talked about in previous episodes the challenges around that, where fire and rehire will remain lawful. Final thing to discuss is there's quite a few where in the government update we've have no firm date. These are measures that are expected to take effect in some time in 2027 as defined by the fact sheet. But again, we've got no firm date, no firm guidance. There's just some obviously an ambition for them to take effect from 2027. So again, I'll list them just for completeness. And we've got action plans on gender equality. We've got enhanced dismissal protection for pregnant women and new mothers. We've got further regulation of umbrella companies. We've got a collective redundancy change in the collective consultation threshold. We've got some further guidance on flexible working. And we've also finally got the introduction of a right to guaranteed hours and a right to reasonable notice and short notice payments. And that's for obviously casual work, so anyone who doesn't work any set hours. So that is a really quick snapshot summary of the changes coming up. We'll, as always, produce guidance on these as and when the updates came out. But as I'm flying solo today, thought it'd be a good opportunity just to give a brief overview of when things are coming, so we can obviously plan in terms of our organisations going forward. So that's it for this week. Be back in your ears on video next week, hopefully back with Nils to do some further updates. So thank you from me.